So, is there a pattern that anyone else is noticing? And there's actually a lot of information on this, and anyone who has just like regular experience has noticed that the government, right? The government is acting on behalf of lobbyists, where lobbyists are literally pressuring the government to create mandates, and these mandates will actually are essentially creating some kind of coercive system that forces codependency, where in order to get a job, in order to, you know, have a place to live, in order to do certain things, they're sort of creating this sort of catch 22 situation where in order to do certain things, you have to rely on companies and these firms that you otherwise wouldn't have to rely on had it not been for the forced codependency that these companies are actively lobbying for. And honestly, it's pretty wild and pretty interesting because I've noticed this, right? I've noticed that a lot of these companies are intentionally obfuscating, where they are doing things in a very, albeit roundabout manner. And there definitely is, this whole like spider web and this whole really a sizable effort to create codependency on firms that get to be inefficient because there is less elasticity of demand. Essentially, these firms are going to the government and lobbying for laws and mandates and different systems that put people in a position where they are dependent on these firms and dependent on what they have to offer that they otherwise wouldn't have to be. So there's no actual production of better goods and services. There's no incentive to create better products and provide, better value for customers. Rather, we're seeing an age now where the way to maximize profit is through codependency. In other words, forced codependency, where you have to rely on the government and to rely on, the state apparatus to generate demand, specifically for certain things where there is no alternative because of said lobbying for policies. It's really interesting, guys, how it's obfuscated. And I'm actually going to be making a full length video on this in the near future.